Today is day 42 and we're going to run through the basics of topographic maps before we have our practice quiz. Remember that all of these squiggly lines here with the numbers are called contour lines. And these contour lines show us places of equal altitude. So here I want you to write down equal altitude, or in other words, equal elevation. Go ahead and write those words right along that contour line there. Altitude and elevation are the same thing. And the distance in altitude, or the difference in altitude between one contour line and another, is called the contour interval. And so here we see a contour line that's labeled at 200 feet. And up here we have 230 feet. And there are 3 steps in between. So that means that each step is going to be 10 feet. And so this is a 200-foot contour line. The next one is going to be 210, 220, and then up to 230. We can do the same thing over here on the left-hand side. Down here is 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270. Then we have a little circle up here, 2 of them. That's going to be another hill. So here we have 230. This one's 240, 250. Over on this side map, we have these circles with little lines around them. Those are called hachures. And this shows a hole, or in other words, a depression. Please write those off to the side here. And so instead of counting up with our contour intervals, we're going to be counting down. The first is going to have the same elevation as the contour line next to it. So this was 230. We're going to have another 230 hachure. And then we count down 220, 210. So going along this side of the map, we start off at the bottom at 200, 210, 220, 230, another 230 for the inside of the hole, 220, 210. Now, we can estimate the bottom of the hole as being something less than 210, but it's not a full step down again because we don't have another line here. So what we do is we estimate a half a step. Each step feet, so a half step is going to be 5 feet. 5 feet lower than this is going to be 205. Estimate the bottom of the hole. Over here, estimate the top of this. Again, don't have another interval shown. We are not going to go up another 10, but we'll go up just a half a step. So that means the top is going to be estimated to be 255. Please write 255 in the middle of this hill here. The other mountaintop has a little X to it with a 272. So somebody has actually surveyed this hill and found the true height of the top of it as 272. So we don't have to do any estimates there. Now that we have all of our labeled, we can estimate the locations of, or estimate the elevations of locations. So if I was to estimate the elevation of this school here, it is between 230 240. So we just take, again, a half a step, and we can label that 35 feet above sea level. You are between lines. You just estimate to be half a step. If a location is actually on the line itself, then we just take the number that is on. By the way, this here is called a benchmark. Would you please write that word X? Write the word benchmark next to that letter X. That's what these specific heights are called when it's labeled an X and a specific height. The difference between heights is called relief. The relief of the whole map is the difference between the highest point, 272, and the lowest point, which in this case is down here, 200. So the relief of the whole map is the highest point, 272, minus the lowest point, 200, and so the relief is going to be 72 feet. Would you please write that down here? Write relief is equal to 72 feet. Relief of the whole map. We can find the relief between two specific locations as well. So let's say that we want difference between, let's just say this spot right here, we'll call it A, and this spot right here, we'll call it B. To find the relief there, we find this elevation to be between 240 and 250. That's going to be 245. And this here is right on 30, so that's B. So the relief between these 2 points is going to be 15 feet. Up here, we have a scale. It tells us the horizontal distance between two locations. To use that scale, I would recommend that you take a scrap piece of paper and copy the scale over, copy the 0 mark, copy the 1 mile, copy the 2 mile, and now I can use this as a ruler in order to figure out the horizontal distance in different places. So let's find the horizontal difference between the benchmark and the church. So the benchmark here at the X, I'm going to put the 0 mark there, and then the church lines up with the 2 mile mark. So it's 2 miles between the peak of the hill and the church. Let me mark that. Another thing that you have to find with these maps is called the slope. And the slope is the steepness of the land. We can tell the slope just generally by how close together the lines are. So here on this side of the hill, we have